Mitakai Oraison. So yesterday I spoke of my son's graduation and I lavished praise on him and his peers for what they achieved in this, their senior year of high school. Well deserved praise. But now I want to speak about the administration. And I don't have good things to say about the administration. Let's start with, I'm actually only going to mention two names: the principal of the school, Timothy McKenna, and the superintendent of the Philadelphia School District, not even sure of his first name, but Haidt. Let's go with Dr. Haidt. McKenna is a coward. This should be painfully clear by now, but I have to keep stating this because it's so easy to be misinterpreted, especially in today's society, and especially in today's society when people want to misinterpret you. I don't care much about being right. I don't care about you being wrong. I don't care about defending white folks from the excesses of the Democrats or the progressives or the black community. I don't give a whit. What I care about is the dignity and the essence of our soul, each and every single human being. So if you're going to go around saying you are in a position of oppression which you can't overcome, except perhaps maybe through rage and depression and I don't know, forgive me, begging, you're not doing anyone any good. You are diminishing the human spirit, and you need to get out of our way. So Timothy McKenna, who after those masseuses, I hope I'm saying that word right, that were shot by a deranged lunatic, a white guy. But as soon as that happened, there were outcries of racial injustice, of Asian hate crimes. And the police cautioned in the moment, don't blame this as racially motivated. Don't do that. It's not a cultural thing. And to this day, they still say the same thing. The guy who shot, I forget his name, it's not important. The guy who shot him had an obsession, an unhealthy obsession about sex. He mistook these masseuses for sex workers and he shot them. Just so happens that a lot of masseuses in that area and in many areas are Asian. That doesn't make it an Asian hate crime. If you are Asian or black or Hispanic or American Indian or whatever, non-white, and you have a crime committed against you, that does not make it a hate crime. That has to be proven, and it wasn't proven. And there were so many people that went out and said that it was. And the day after it happened, McKenna wrote a letter to all the parents and said, we join in solidarity with the Asians who are the victims of this hate crime. Oh my Lord in heaven. So he just completely said, all you Asians, and I don't know, the school's half Asian, all you Asians, you are being victimized. You are hated and you are being victimized. And this is what happens because of that. That is an act of intense irresponsibility. And he did the same thing with some of the crimes that some of the actions taken against black criminals by police. Rushed to judgment, said this wouldn't have happened if they weren't black, that the police are on a killing spree, that white folks are on a killing spree. This is not true. This is not true. And I'm not trying to defend white people because I'm a white guy. I'm trying to defend humanity. And you can't group and categorize and put these judgments on people as either victims or victimizers, victims or victimizers because of the color of their skin or some other cultural tick. It's absurd. It's wrong. Not only has McKenna have done it, but Haidt does it as well. McKenna's white. He's just a tool. Haidt is black. Perhaps not a tool, but I've known so many black folks who just, this wasn't a thing for them, claiming oppression and claiming outrage. But now it is, because there's so much pressure for whites to feel guilty and blacks to feel victimized, and now Asians want to jump on the bandwagon and they want to be victimized. This is not good for the human soul. You have a problem, you figure out what the problem is, and you figure out how to solve it. It's not even important to find out the genesis of the problem. If you do, great. But you figure out how to solve the problem, and you go about and you're solving it. So many people right now are saying all these problems are because of white supremacy. And what happens when we find out that I don't know, all the white supremacists are wiped out and the problem still exists? Then what do? Then I guess you refuse to take responsibility and blame yourself. You just say, well, it's because I've been indoctrinated into white supremacy, and that itself is I mean, that's critical race theory, right? That no matter what you do, you can't get away from white supremacy. I have actually watched McKenna allow students in the school ruin the reputation of other students because they called them the big R word. McKenna's a tool. McKenna's a fool. And he allowed, maybe not allowed. The closing of the school was absolutely, of the schools in Philadelphia was absolutely beyond his ken. But as far as teaching people dignity and strength and resilience, I've read so many poems in the literary magazine of Central High School, and so many poems where they say, I'm being hurt, I'm being hunted. This is bam, 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 bam. Speak up for the dignity of humanity. Speak up for the resiliency of each individual person. You don't have to say, no, you're wrong, and ban it and censor it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, do you have a voice? Or is your voice just going along with the crowd so you can keep your job? My son had to deal with the shutdown, and that had a bad effect on him, but he made it. And he had to deal with this nonsense going on when he too knows the value of the individual soul. So got nothing nice to say about them. I'm coming up on 9 minutes. If you made it this far, I thank you. Peace. 4 fingers.